You are listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast brought to you by Birmingham Live.
Hello and welcome to Claret and Blue. I'm Matt Kendrick and I'm joined by our Aston Villa writer, Ashley Priest. Ash, we've delayed this deliberately. It was going to be me and Dan Rollinson last night post-match, but I was still sulking and couldn't be trusted. So I had a chance to calm down a little bit. I'm a little bit calmer. I'm still not happy, as you can tell. But yeah, we're here to dissect. We're here to lead the inquest, I suppose, into this is my maths on the back of a fag packet. But 66 years now, I think, is that right? 66 years without winning that big trophy. So yeah, a big long intro that is. But just tell us your initial thoughts about how it went for Villa yesterday.
Really, it was like the players, weren't you, Matt? You couldn't be bothered yesterday, could you? Couldn't be bothered. That's what it was, really. The players aren't bothered. I'm not going to bother doing a podcast. Forget you. Yeah, very bad. Yeah, 7 defeats on the spin now in the third round, and a good little draw as well. We had Stoke to look forward to in the following round. The cup run was on, and then just all fell apart, didn't it? That final few minutes, it just then Donker Dawley on the ball summed it up. Really, it was half soaked, wasn't it? They weren't really bothered about it. The game was there for the taking. I've never seen Unai Emery so angry afterwards either. He was stunned with what he witnessed. He wasn't happy with what the players put out against Wolves either, which is quite telling. So, yeah, I'd love to be on a fly on the wall today at Bodymore. In that little manager meeting he'll have with his staff, he'll be effing and jeffing it, a few behind closed doors. But yeah, not good enough. The fans deserved better yesterday. Very embarrassing. And we left with our tails between our legs. So, a shocker, a total shocker. And yeah, it's just Spurs was a little over a week ago now, and it's crazy. It's just so Villa, isn't it? Go and beat Spurs, everything's rosy, it's flying. And then a bit of a drab one against Wolves, and then to follow it with Stevenage defeat is shocking. Where's it ranked for you, Matt? Bradford, 2 legs over Bradford. Is it one of the worst in Villa's history?
I was thinking about this. Obviously, I'm a little bit older than you, but I was thinking, have we lost to a lower ranked team? In my Villa supporting lifetime, and obviously, yeah, the Bradford one was over 2 legs, and it was with Wembley within touching distance. We lost at Doncaster, I think, under O'Leary a few years ago. They were in League One. I think Leyton Orient came and beat us at Villa Park under Lambert as well. They were in League One at the time. It's just, I think the thing that got me yesterday was almost, I don't know, a complacency. I think, I don't think, listen, if Stevenage had come and were beating us after 60 minutes, you'd probably have had a chance to come to terms with it a little bit. But because the team and the stadium just thought it was, even though we played poorly, it was going to be a routine 1-0 win. Those last 5 or 10 minutes just really shook me, to be honest. I wouldn't say it came from nowhere, because I think Stevenage, credit to them, to be fair, because they've had the day of their lives, caused the upset of their lives. I thought their fans were good. I thought that they looked the most likely, even when Villa produced one moment of quality for me all game, and that resulted in the goal. But they've hit the bar. They've had a goal ruled off for offside. They've camped in when they've needed to and been very resilient and made it difficult for Villa to find the way through them. So I think they deserve a lot of credit. But for me, and I don't want delusions of grandeur, because you don't just turn up and win a football match. But even your reserve team, or 3 or 4 first teamers and your reserve players should be doing more to hurt your opponents like that. And I just thought it was a real, I don't know, I just think they underestimated the opposition and just they've let us all down, really.
Yeah, like a training game for me. Coutinho trying to bend one into the top corner every now and again. It's just ballooning everywhere, and yeah, very, very laboured, wasn't it? Like you say, we would have taken that 1-0. Okay, it was scrappy, but the last few moments summed it all up. And I didn't have a problem with the lineup. I really didn't. I know hindsight's a good thing, but there's more than enough there to beat League Two Stevenage for me. So the manager got some pelters afterwards for not going as strong as possible, but players need a bit of game time. Your Coutinho's, it's their point to prove now, but they failed miserably, didn't they? Really, I think only Sanson really came out of it with any decent any decency, really. So yeah, the lineup was strong enough for me. It's just down to mentality, and has that been an issue now for a while? And is that honeymoon period over? When a new manager comes, you see him all running through walls for him, as they have done. But Emery mentioned yesterday, I've been here 2 months now. Are we seeing the true colours based on what we've seen there? A bit of complacency, as you said, that mentality, that culture. It's not good. And today, the debrief, has recruitment been good enough? The recruitments and the players that are there, has that been good enough? Question marks again. There's plenty there on that team sheet yesterday. Over £130 million worth of players there, and they can't beat Stevenage. It says a lot.
Can I tell you one of my old man theories? And I think if you think about all the effort and all the money and all the time that goes into every aspect of fine-tuning footballers now, so Bodymore Heath, had to make the benches bigger, the dugouts bigger at Villa Park, haven't we? Because of the amount of backroom staff that you've got. You've got your nutritionists, you've got your analysts, you've got your set-piece coaches, you've got all these roles. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because if the football club can afford these things because they're getting vast riches from the Premier League broadcasting pot every year, use them best you can. But they do all these things, the kind of bleep tests, the heart monitors, and all of this. Yet, our reserve team players, is enough done to keep them competitive, to kind of almost get the rust off them, basically? And it probably is like a man stuck in the past to say that they should bring back the central league, reserve team league and stuff. But what are they? If you're having fun, I'm not saying they don't work hard in training. Of course they do, and I'm sure they have a high intensity level of training. But if you're coming in and you're playing 3 or 4 times a season, but you're being expected to play this kind of Emery ball, kind of real kind of possession-based football, even from the back, and you're playing against a team. Listen, Stevenage are however many places below Villa in the pyramid, 70 places, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But they're at it. They're towards the top of their division. They're playing competitively every week. They're playing the game of their lives. And I just don't know whether enough is done. I know Villa have been behind closed doors games and stuff like that, but I think it's quite an ask to go from doing, from training to playing competitively like that. I just wonder if there should be a system. I don't know what it is. I don't know how. You can't just revamp the reserve team system because Villa have been knocked out of a cup competition. But I just feel that listen, you might say that Sanson was probably one of Villa's brightest players, so that would probably explode the argument I've just had. But I don't know. I find it really, really weird, because to me, it's 2 cup competitions now where we've blown the chance to progress. And without turning this into too long a rant, I don't blame Emery for picking the team that he did, but I equally don't think that Emery can escape criticism for this, because we could see at half-time that, yes, Villa were winning 1-0 through a really well-taken goal, but you could also see that it was a very flat, lacklustre performance. Now, he saw that against Wolves, and it was like night and day against Wolves. We woke up in the second half and probably should have gone on and win that game. I didn't see that second half against Stevenage. I just thought, we got a goal. I don't know. Like I say, it's still a bit raw for me, because I'm a massive, massive fan of the FA Cup, and I wouldn't say. I mean, I'm not as old as I look, so I've hopefully still got a few more years left on the planet. But I'm almost kind of measure my life expectancy now. Will I live long enough to see Villa win the FA Cup? And unless they freeze me and then reawaken me in 200 years, I'm not sure I will. You're still there. Have I bored you into submission?
No, I think you're making excuses for the players there. It's got to come from within for me. Leon Bailey he starts Premier League games. He started yesterday. Danny Ings started yesterday after his goal in midweek. I'm just going through the team. Coutinho, come on. It's got to come from within. It was just laboured for me. I think you're making excuses for the players there. There wasn't really a standard setter on the pitch. So maybe that was Emery's excuse. Maybe throw your Martinez in. or your Ashley Young, or your Tyrone Mings, just to maintain that standard. Because a lot of them just weren't up to it really. That second goal at the end summed it up miles off it, wouldn't they? That pretty embarrassing the way that manoeuvred it like. So yeah, I think it's got to come from within. It's got to be the player. You got to dig in a bit more, and it's down to that character, down to that mentality. And I don't think a few of the players have that, and I think that's what surprised Emery the most, really. And maybe he alluded to afterwards, maybe it's a bigger job than what he first envisaged, really. And he said the players, they've been great up until now, but that's expected. It's a new manager bounce. They all want to come in and impress him. Now they've done well at the start. They've taken the foot off the gas a little bit, and they're cruising. And they got found out yesterday. Almost got found out in the week as well against Wolves. So we need a big reaction on Friday. Now, just in the photo here, the FA Cup one of my favourite ones. That's all Wembley there. That's going to
back in 2000.
2000, yeah. So yeah, we'll have to wait. I don't know whether they'll be there again for an FA Cup final, but yeah, like you say, big opportunity missed, Matt, and yeah, I might have loved the cups as well, both of them, but they've tossed them away this year.
Do you think the you mentioned recruitment a while ago before I went off on one of my kind of standard ranty monologues, but do you think that the quality, if you scratch beneath the first 11, the first 13, do you think it's not there?
Possibly, yeah. Possibly, maybe we've believed the hype again, as I did in the summer, and it all unravelled then. Are the players up to it? Recent results would tell you yes, they are. Given 10 points out of the possible 15, they've really done okay in that sense. But it's okay doing it against the bigger teams, and when you're soaking up the pressure. The emphasis is on the opposition team because they're higher in the table. Villa beating your Man U's, your Brightons, Tottenhams. It was a containing job, and they did well on the break, and they was really tuned into what Emery was saying. But against the lower sides now, we're going to find out a lot more about Villa. Wolves, 19th in the table. Villa struggled. They did. Stevenage, 59 places below them. They struggled yesterday to impose themselves. They couldn't break them down. It's all passing side to side. No one's really willing to thread a killer ball in or really go at them. So we've got Leeds coming up now, Friday. Southampton after that. It's the sides below you. You need to try and blow away and build that momentum, get that confidence back amongst the group. So, like you say, it's all well and good doing it against that containing job against sides above you. These teams below you need to pick up points and win games. And can they go that and do that? Just got to look at that mentality-wise. Is this squad good enough? Question marks, isn't it, really, given what we've seen over the last couple of weeks? But I'm sure Emery's. I think we'll see at least three players come in now, Matt, in this window. Emery will have his first chance to shape his squad. A few players will leave as well. So yeah, I think Emery wants to put his own stamp on his team and his squad. So we'll see.
Just looking at some of the comments, Reese Webb saying we need a proper winger. Bailey is too hit and miss. I mean, being hit and miss is normally a winger's prerogative, isn't it? You know, kind of blowing hot or cold. Obviously, he's been the man in the spotlight in the last couple of home games. The last minute wasted chance against Wolves, and you know, he wasn't alone in being poor, but he was pretty poor yesterday, considering that you'd expect his qualities to shine through against lower league opposition. How do you sum him up, Ash?
I don't know. He's a real enigma, isn't he, really? Yeah, his confidence was shot to bits yesterday. He just kept slipping over. He just weren't his day. I'm surprised he lasted the 90 minutes. I'm surprised Emery kept him on. I really was. I've liked him previously. He's got his goal against Man U. He's been that little bit of a game changer. He's got something many haven't got, a bit of pace, that lightning speed. But it's what he does with it. It's a funny, we can debate all day. In terms of goals and assists, he's got more than Buendia. Buendia costs a lot more money than him. But yeah, just that consistency, isn't it? It's a lot. That's what happens with wingers. Funny that it's interesting that Emery's put him up front now with Watkins as a striker, as opposed to that winger. Yeah, a lot of money on Bailey. Hasn't really cracked it yet. Yeah, hit and miss, isn't it? It's just, I think it's just too much hit and miss from me. One week he's okay and looking like he's the only player that's going to do something, and the next he's pretty hopeless. as he was yesterday. So, yeah, your take on him, Bailey?
Yeah, I think he's. I don't think I said this after the Wolves game. I don't think it particularly works well when him and Cash are down the same flank, because the beauty of Cash going forward is that he likes to kind of gallop into those spaces and receive the ball on the overlap. Bailey doesn't really feed him the ball on the overlap. So I don't know. I don't want to write him off, because he's clearly got some magic in his boots. And I know we've all seen the show reels from when he signed, from what he did in the Bundesliga. So the quality's there. I don't know. He just frustrates the hell out of me, and I think, but people have heard me say the same about the previous wingers, that, Trezeguet would blow hot and cold, and El Ghazi would blow hot and cold. But some of when he gets the ball in dangerous areas, how often do you expect him to deliver? And I when we first signed him, I expected him to deliver consistently. Now I'm surprised if he delivers a quality ball into the box that somebody can get on the end of, or if he gets a shot away that's going to trouble the goalkeeper. And I think for all the tricks and flicks, I think we need a lot more from him. I think that and again, this might be me being a bit naive or ignorant, but what I don't get, and I can take your point that the first 11 that he put out there should have been strong enough to see off Stevenage. But if Bailey's a regular starter for you, and Cash is a regular starter for you, who else played? Who else started? Who's regular?
Douglas
Louise. If you can play them, and Bailey particularly got 90, I think he did, didn't he? He got the whole 90.
Yeah.
Why can't you play the others? Why can't you? Because they're going to play potentially. Well, they might not now after that, but they're going to play 6 days later, 5 days later on a Friday night. I can't understand it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah. Now you mentioned that point. Why not just chuck them all in, go again?
I suppose you're increasing the risk of getting more injuries, and I think Cash went down, didn't he, with an injury? So yeah, I don't know. I've said this when Emery first joined, Ash, and I stick by this. And I think the calibre of manager that we've got in him, I think we're really lucky to have him. We're Aston Villa, so we should be able to attract managers of a high calibre. But his CV shows that he can turn a club and turn a squad around. We've seen enough glimpses, certainly in the league form, to suggest that he can come up with a way of playing that can win football matches. So when he first arrived, I said, listen, we've got to hold our nerve. There's going to be some real kind of bumps in the road where things aren't going to go well, and we're going to be disappointed, and we're going to be frustrated. The United game at Old Trafford was one. This one is another one. So I'm not going to kind of veer from, let's hound Emery and give him a kick in and stuff like that. But equally, I can't completely excuse him of that, because he knows, and he said so at his presser, and his pedigree shows that his cup competitions are where he's at, albeit the European ones rather than the domestic ones normally. But we ain't going to get into the European ones unless we have some success in the domestic cups, or we fly out that league. So I'm just a little bit frustrated that he couldn't have spotted the malaise, or if he did, he couldn't have fixed that a bit sooner, because some of the approach play, Ash, it was so there was a passage of play second half kicking towards the whole end where I reckon we must have had the ball for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And we did absolutely sod all with it. And I just think you've got to force the issue a little bit more. If you've got that quality, if you have got that quality, which you should have if you're 3 divisions above a team, you've got to try and work, even if they're resolute and sat in, you've got to try and move them around.
Yeah.
Better. You've got to do things quicker. It was like you said, like Coutinho was full of his flicks and tricks and his party piece of trying to bend it in the top corner. I'm not sure one of those chances came within 6 feet of the goal. I I don't know. I'm just like I say, I'm in danger of becoming ranty old man again because it really, really frustrates me. You know, it's another year wasted
I know.
in terms of winning anything.
Yeah, I know, and yeah, not nice, Matt. Like you say, it should have been an easy stroll in the park yesterday. It really should have been, and don't know more to say really. Yeah, I think Emery's. He needs to see the players, doesn't he? You can see him at Bodymoor Reef and whatnot, but he's giving them their chance yesterday, and they failed him. The majority failed him. Coutinho's been itching for a game. Dendonka needs some game time. They just failed him yesterday. Not having that leader on the pitch. Danny Ings being captain. He's never a captain. I think I'd have had one of them leaders on the pitch just to make sure, get the job done. Get Tyrone Mings starting or something, or William Martinez in goal, right? Even Ashley Young, get him in there and barking, saying this ain't good enough, lads. Come on, step up. And we didn't have one of them in the team yesterday. I'm going through the team sheet now. Yeah, it's down to a character thing. It's got to come from within the players, and they failed the manager yesterday for me. And like you said, they give them their chance, and they didn't do it. Without
wishing to open up too many wounds from yesterday, let's just have a little look. Let's have a little chat about the goals then. First of all, the Villa goal. I thought it was well worked and well finished. I thought it came out of nowhere really. So I don't think we ever really put. When I say concerted pressure, we had a lot of the ball, but I don't think we ever kind of battered down their goal. I don't know what the stats said about shots on target, but I don't think their keeper was. I think he had a quieter afternoon than he was probably expecting. What did you think about the Villa goal?
Yeah, the only time they moved it quickly, they was in and scored. So yeah. One touch, two touch stuff, and it opened it up, and Sanson finished pretty well. His first goal for Villa, good finish, and like you say, fewer touches, moving it quickly. That's what happens. You can find them gaps, and that's what Villa didn't do after that. They was taking too many touches. They were, like you say, strolling around like a training game. They were trying flicks and tricks, and yeah, it was just going to get the job done, move it quickly, bit of tempo. Didn't see that after that, but good goal from Sanson.
The Sanson things, if he does leave, which we think probably be January or in the summer, somebody says, well, what was it like at Villa? Was it? No, it wasn't completely wasted. I scored a consolation goal in a FA Cup humiliation against a team from 70 places below. So I felt for him. He actually kind of, I wouldn't say milked it. He didn't quite do the El Ghazi kind of giving it the big and after the Panenka at Barrow. But I he blew kisses to all four corners of the.
Yeah, he was loving it.
All four stands at Villa Park. So I thought that could have been his moment. But yeah, so I think the Dendonka one. Who do you blame there? Do you blame Olsen or do you blame Dendonka, or a combination of the two?
Sitting on the fence, I blame the combination of the two, but it's got to be Dendonka. Got to be. Olsen's pass is fine into Dendonka. He's just sleeping. He come and showed for it, and then he's just sloppy, very sloppy. I'm blaming Dendonka there. Got to be better on the ball, seeing the game out. Too slow. And yeah, like you say, he was away with the fair, isn't Dendonka? Can't be blaming Olsen for that. He was crisp pass into his feet. Like you say, looking back, just get rid, don't you? Hoof it up the pitch and see how we go, but. Dendonka, lacked in concentration. He has that in his game. Concentration goes missing for a bit, and shocking.
I thought that was the one that obviously gifted them the way back in, and then after that, honestly, I mean, you could see that Stevenage had the tails up. Their chairman must have been a bit annoyed that they didn't kind of see out the draw then and get the cash tills registered. Cash tills going for the replay, but. I don't know, mate. You give me your, like I said, I don't want to go on about it too much because we've all seen it with our own eyes. But you give me your take on that corner.
Yeah, I've seen it many times with the cat and fiddle. Let's get out to him.
I don't think you do that. I don't think the cat and fiddler do that. I think you'd all be, even if you'd all had 10 points the night before, I think you'd all be switched on to know just basics. It's just absolute basics. I don't know. Then I think Watkins is the first one to react too late, and then he just kind of dangles a leg. Doesn't really make an effort to stop it, and then it goes in at the near post. And Olsen's caught napping as well. And I thought that the defeat was deserved. I thought Stevenage deserved the win, and Villa got what we deserved.
Yeah, it was comical, wasn't it, really, the last 5 minutes? It really was. Steve Evans was quite good afterwards. You said, as soon as that first goal went in, Villa went back. There was fear in their faces, and they was camped in for that corner. I think it was Brendan gave the ball away cheaply, led to the corner. And Villa, I think nearly all the players were in the 6-yard box, expecting a ball into the box, and then Evans said to his player, Campbell, go and get it. He got it, and then put it in. And Villa got what they deserved, Matt, as you said. Yeah, totally got what they deserved. And, just embarrassing.
I saw a quote, I think it was on Football Focus on Saturday afternoon from Gianluca Vialli, God rest his soul, saying that there's no such things as losses. You either win or you learn. And I tweeted something stupid like afterwards. Like, so I remember when he used to play Sunday League and was on a kind of 10-game learning run. And I think, listen, it's scant consolation at the moment because, we all wanted a trip to Stoke in the next round. It's not too far away, just up the M6, and that would have been a decent one. And with respect to Stoke, a match where you thought we could have gone and be competitive and potentially won. We all know we've got this kind of long trophy drought hanging over us. So that to me is going to take a little bit of getting over, but it's done now. We can't affect it. It's going to be next season before we enter cup competitions again. But I suppose the long-winded question is, what do you think? What was the main learning point then? What did we learn from that yesterday?
It's got to be that the players aren't up to it. Surely some of them aren't. Or a mentality issue within the group as well. They've seen off 2 managers now, the majority of them, and just the manner of the performance, the body language of a few really stunned the new manager. First time we've seen that happen, and he was taken aback by it. He really was. He was cut up in his press conference, Matt. I haven't seen him like that before. He was with us for a good 12, 15 minutes, quite long for Emery. I think one of the lads asked him, did the players let you down? And Emery went on a bit of a rant, saying they didn't do what he asked against Wolves either. And again, they did the same today. They were poor for him. So it's a bit of a wake-up call for the manager as well. And what we've learned from it, the players have failed the supporters again, as they did at the start of the season with the run that went on. I think the question mark, are the players up to it? It comes out to that recruitment again. Is it all it's been made up to be kind of thing? Is it, are we that good enough? And we said that as well afterwards as well. So are we that good? Should we be pushing on for top 10 European football, or are we mid-table fodder? Not sure. We'll find out in the remaining. We've got 20 games left now, so we'll find out then.
So the players who did step in yesterday from, who you wouldn't consider automatic starters, we don't have to go through them one by one, but you're looking at the goalkeeper, who's obviously had question marks asked of him a few times. You're looking at Bednarek, or Shinimajid will be going back anyway. You're looking at Dendonka, you're looking at Morgan Sanson, even Chambers, who seems to have gone off the ball a little bit. I've probably missed a few, might have missed one or two there, but what do you see? Just rattle through, Mash, but what do you see the future holding for those kind of half a dozen players I've just named?
They're just second rate, aren't they, really? They're not going to stay in this, they're not going to be a first team regular at Villa, are they? It's like you say, I mean, Bednarek, he couldn't get in the Southampton side. Wolves didn't want Dendonka. And yeah, like you say, it's all second-rate signings, really. And when they've had the chance, they haven't taken it, really. So, yeah, I think recruitment needs to be taken a look at. Thankfully, I think Emery's going to do his own stuff regarding recruitment. Alex Moreno from Betis, the left-back, I expect him to come in this week. Definitely an Emery signing that one. And so hopefully the manager gets a more of a say in this, as opposed to, I think Johan Lang's had a bigger say before with his data-driven recruitment model and this, that, and the other. So hopefully Emery gets the chance to shape his squad how he sees fits, and I'm sure he'll be backed by the owners to do so. So what we've learned, and the players aren't up to it, where Villa want to be and where Villa want to kick on. So yeah, second-rate recruitment. A few people have mentioned the recruitment since Jack Grealish left. There was 8 players that started yesterday that signed since Grealish left. So it shows you that they've been beaten at home to Stevenage. Not good enough.
I mean, I suppose he's stating the obvious as well, isn't it? But you don't sign players to strengthen your bench, do you? So he's clearly, we've said this before on the podcast, that it's strengthening your first team, and then the knock-on effect of that is that the players who were in your first team become your substitutes, basically. So you reckon there could be as many as 3 Ash year this month?
Yeah, I think there could be 3 in, and there'll be a few out as well. No Nakamba yesterday. He's nowhere to be seen again, Nakamba. So I expect him to go as well. Gilbert, Sanson, like we mentioned, he could head out as well. Augustinson could go back now. He's picked up a bad injury, I'm told, as well, with the new left back coming in. So yeah, there could be a few ins and outs, 3, 4, as many as that, I think. And yeah, these next couple of games really intrigue me, Matt, against Leeds and Southampton. They really do. First, Villa are expected to win. We're home to Leeds on Friday, and then away to Southampton, who've struggled at the bottom of the league, aren't they? So these next 2 weeks will be telling. They really will.
What shape are the squad in? A couple of injuries. With McGinn's still a couple of weeks off. We've got what did Emery say anything about Cash, or was he too busy apologising for the performance?
That was my mistake. I asked him about the injuries. He said, I don't know. So I think he weren't in the mood to answer that one. But Cash has picked up a groin injury, so it's a new injury for him. It's not a recurrence of his hamstring injury. Not sure on Cash yet. Augustinson, I think it might be an ankle ligament damage. He'll have a scan today. So there's the likelihood he could head back to Sevilla, cut short his loan spell, especially with Alex Moreno coming in now, left back as well. A penny for Luca Dean's thoughts, really. Luca Dean, big money signing this time last year, wasn't it, in January? The fact that Emery's come in and the first sign he's making is a left back. I'd love to see whether that kicks Luca Dean on, or whether he does a Matt Target and says, you know what, I'm going. We'll see with that one. But John McGinn, he'll be assessed ahead of Leeds this week. I'm not sure the severity of his hamstring injury. Is a grade 1 or grade 2 or whatnot. So we'll find out an update on them 3 this week. Diego Carlos is back in February, Matt. He's ahead of schedule, so he's back next month. I don't want to make it, Carlos. I mean, I've never done my Achilles. I was speaking to Gary Thompson yesterday. He said it could be a bad one, like doing your Achilles like that. It takes the pace out. Yeah, you do a lot with your Achilles. You jump in, you're competing for balls with it. So I'm a bit wary of Diego Carlos coming straight back in, given he snapped his Achilles. Nasty injury, that one. So, like you say, Emery's confidence he'll be back next month. So that's a bit of a boost for those defensive ranks. That's it, really. That's it. Yeah.
Well, when I trudged away from Villa Park last night, I thought, Christ, I don't know whether I want to come back. I don't want to come back to this place in a rush. But now I've had an eve to sleep on it. I just hope that we can turn up on Friday and put in a good performance and get some of that optimism back. Before I let you go, Ash, just a bit of trivia that the fella who sits down the road from me in the top of the Trinity wandered over. I mean, this probably wandered over on about 75 minutes when it was just petering out. We thought it, just to entertain me, I think. He asked me, I don't know whether this was said on some TV commentary or something. He said, do you know why Villa are allowed to have triangular corner flags in the FA Cup? Do you know what that is?
No, go on.
Apparently, Wikipedia here, mate, so I'd leave no stone unturned with my research. The use of triangular corner flags in English football is a regular occurrence based upon traditional achievements. Tradition holds that only clubs that have won the FA Cup have the right to use triangular corner flags rather than the square ones. So there you go, mate. So I'd threaten to just take our triangular corner flag unless we win this bloody competition again. I think they should take our triangular corner flags off us. But that must have been what the defence were looking at, mate. I think during the last minute of the game, but. All right, listen, I'll leave you go in peace. We will catch up again. I think we'll probably try and do something pre-Leeds. Me and Dan Rollinston will hopefully we won't be drowning our sorrows like on Friday night. Hopefully we'll have something to celebrate on Friday night. So we're definitely back for a post-Leeds podcast as well. But another year, lads. This time next year, I've got a feeling our name's on the cup next year, mate. I can feel it. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody who's left notes in the comments. Until next time, up the Villa.